Okay, class. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Request to all the participants to close their videos. Those who are connecting with the video should switch off the video. $13.33 sum में पता नहीं चला. Definitely, Nabir, I will go with the sum. Check it out. Kindly text or WhatsApp your query, whatever is that, along with the solution that you have solved, and that I will share with you. Okay. So those who are raising their doubts and queries to me through on my WhatsApp or on my email, I'm responding them. So it is if you are also trying to solve certain sums and if you are unable to solve them, do let me know the queries that is being faced by you, either on WhatsApp or by mail or by text or whatever convenient medium is to you, and share the sum also with me. I will go through the sum. I will check it out, your solution also, and then we will be discussing, or I will be sharing the solution to you so that you can check out, cross check your sum as along with my calculation, and I can find out, will be able to find out the problems that were there in your calculations. So
Okay, sir.
we are going to discuss today cost allocation. Cost allocation, you know the terminology, but this is not a cost allocation for overhead cost and all, but it is for joint products and byproducts. First of all, we go with the terminologies, as this is a new chapter, new terminologies are being faced by you. So first of all, we'll go and try to understand what this terminology means, what is a joint cost, what is a joint product, what is a byproduct, how it is being defined, when you will be defining a joint product, when you will be defining a product as a byproduct, how to allocate the cost, what terminologies are there in that. We'll focus on all the terminologies first of all, and then we will moving on to the understanding of the calculations, methods to calculate the cost allocation for such kind of products, etc. So this is what our learning objective will be: identifying the split off point in a joint cost situation and distinguishing joint products from byproducts. See, as I told you earlier, there are certain terminologies which you are listening for the very first time. So we'll focus on the terminologies first of all, and then we'll go with the solutions and calculations and understanding the methodologies. So explaining why joint costs are allocated to individual products, joint cost using 4 methods, allocating joint cost using 4 different methods, identifying situations where the sales value at split off method is preferred when allocating joint cost, explaining why joint costs are irrelevant in a sale or process further decisions, account for byproducts using 2 different methods. So these are the various methodologies, various things that we are going to learn from this respective chapter. Terminologies. What joint cost means. See, joint products. Generally, what happens now? When you are producing 2 different products, but for a certain point of time, both of these products pass through the same process, same production process on the same channel, then it becomes a joint product. For example, if we say, if you're extracting crude oil from the earth, now extraction of crude oil itself do not gives you petrol, diesel, or coal tar or anything. But yes, when you further process this respective product, you find petrol, diesel, coal tar, and various other products. So the time being, when these respective products are not being identified from the crude oil, whatever the process takes place on crude oil will be the cost incurred on that respective process will be termed as joint cost. The cost of production process that yields multiple products simultaneously. So when you are extracting crude oil, we don't immediately get, by extracting the crude oil from the earth, we do not get petrol, we do not get diesel. So what we do, first of all, we extract crude oil. So extraction cost will be that. Now extraction cost, whatever cost incurred on extracting crude oil from extraction, then transferring it from the extracted point to the refineries through pipelines is also a cost incurred, transporting the crude oil from the extraction point to the refinery. And when it enters into the refinery, it is being refined up to certain stage, from where you will be able to identify petrol and diesel. So till that respective point, from where the petrol and diesel are not getting separated, till that respective point, whatever the cost incurred by the company to produce petrol and diesel, from the crude oil, all such kind of cost, that is extraction cost, transporting cost from extraction point to the refinery, processing it in the refinery up to a point from where these two products will get separated, till that respective point, whatever the cost incurred is known as a joint cost. I hope you are understanding the concept. Split off point, the second point that's the second terminology which is very important to understand in this respective chapter, is split off point. As I told you right now, that in the refinery you are processing the crude oil, and in the process of processing that respective crude oil, at a point your crude oil will become petrol and diesel. Now there will be no crude oil at all. It will be transferred into some another form of a product. So a point till petrol and diesel get converted, that respective point will be termed as a split off point. That means from that respective point, crude oil will give you petrol and diesel and any other product that is being produced with the help of that respective crude. So that is known as a split off point, a point from where you are able to produce more than one product from the same single input. It becomes split off point. Separable cost. Prior to split off point, whatever cost was incurred was joint cost. Now, once a petrol and diesel are being extracted from the crude oil, it is not ready for sale. It is not a pure form of a petrol, or it is not a pure form of a diesel. So further we need to refine it. Further refinery works on that, and a cost incurred after split off point on petrol is a separate cost of petrol. In the same way, cost incurred to produce or to refine diesel after split off point is a separate cost of diesel. So any cost that is being incurred after split off point on petrol will be a part of petrol only, cost of petrol only. In the same way, any cost that is incurred to refine diesel after split off point will be a part of diesel cost only. Now there are many other costs given into the bracket, that manufacturing, marketing, distribution, and so on, incurred beyond the split off point, incurred after the split off point, which can be assignable to the specific product identified at the split off point. So at split off point, what happens? You are enough capable to identify a petrol, you are enough capable to identify diesel from the crude oil. So two different products, or maybe three different products, or maybe four different products comes out from a single input. That is known as a split off point. Cost incurred after that split off point on a separate product, on a product itself, is a separable or a separate cost. So these are the three terms that you need to keep in mind. One, joint cost, cost incurred before the split off point, where your more than one product comes out from a single production process. It is a split off point, the point where from where you are able to identify more than one product from a single production process. Separable cost, cost that is incurred on each product separately after the split off point will be termed as a separable cost. So these are the three different costs that are joint cost, split off point, and separable cost. After that, terminology are not yet over. Now see, this is an example. joint input, as I was talking about extraction of crude oil from the ground. So joint input, crude oil is a joint input. Common production process, extracting crude oil. It is not like that from one certain point you will be extracting only petrol from the crude oil, and on another certain point where you are extracting crude oil will be only giving you diesel. So all extracting point from where crude oil is being generated or extracted will give you petrol, diesel, coal tar, and other chemicals. So common process. This is a point from where you are able to find oil, gasoline, chemicals, various things come into picture. Now these are identifiable products. They are no more a joint input. So that this point is known as split off point. Let's go to the next slide to understand in a more detail. So this is any cost that is being incurred right from here. Discussing this actually. Am I enough audible to all of you? आवाज आ रही है मेरी आप सब तक?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we are discussing actually. जब कोई एक प्रोडक्ट होता है ना, और उस प्रोडक्ट को जब आप प्रोसेस करते हो, उस प्रोसेस के एक सर्टेन पॉइंट पे जहां से आपके एक से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट आइडेंटिफाइड हो जाते हैं, उस पॉइंट तक को जैसे आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हो, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं ये कहता हूँ कि क्रूड ऑयल है जिसको आप एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो। क्रूड ऑयल का एक्सट्रैक्शन कॉस्टली होता है, कॉस्ट इनकर होता है उसमें। क्रूड ऑयल को एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के बाद उसको ट्रांसपोर्ट करना पड़ता है रिफाइनरी तक, वो भी कॉस्ट एक्सपेंसिव है। तो ये जो सेक्शन है जहाँ पे रिफाइनरी पे आने के बाद भी उसको सर्टेन पॉइंट तक रिफाइन करना पड़ता है, प्रोसेस करना पड़ता है। तो ये जो प्रोसेस हो रहा है राइट फ्रॉम हियर, एक्सट्रैक्टिंग, आइडेंटिफाइंग अ well or a point in the ground, in the earth, which is having a crude oil stock, right from there to a point from where you will find petrol, diesel, chemicals, coal tar, etc. getting separate. Till that point, whatever cost is incurred is known as joint cost. This point itself is known as a split off point. And once after this split off point, if any of the product needs a separate processing, that means still the product is not available for sale, you need to process it further. So any cost that is being incurred from after the split off point will be termed as a separable cost. Here you are able to find it out. Separable product cost, separate processing. So these are separate processing. So any cost incurred to this will be termed as a separate cost. Any cost incurred to produce chemicals after the split off point is known as a separate cost of chemical. But whereas if you see a gasoline final sale, so this do not incurs any cost. At split off point, it is already available in the final form and you are able to sell it out. So there is no separable cost for this product. But for oil, for chemicals, there are separate costs. So separate cost for chemical will be identified or allocated directly to chemicals, and separate cost of oil will be directly passed on to oil or allocated to oil. So I hope this is clear. What is joint cost, what is split off point, and what is separable cost. Up to this much you need to understand. See, generally whenever you are solving a sum of joint cost allocation, you should focus on this graph. If you are enough capable to prepare this graph, your sum will get very easy. You just need to put the values of the figures of the sum in this graph. You need to place them here and your sum will get solved within minutes. Right now, today we are not going for solution of any sums. Next, in our next session, we'll solve this certain sums from this respective chapter. And I will be coming with an entire graph of a one sum. I'll be sharing it out and you can be able to see that everything is there in the graph. So once it is there on the graph, you just need to put out in a format and your sum will get solved easily. So this is how this respective joint products, joint costs, split off point and separable costs are identified. Any cost before split off point is joint cost. Any cost after split off point is separate cost, separable cost. Okay. Joint cost terminologies, categories of joint process outputs. See, output can be with a positive sales value, output can be a zero, with a zero sales value. Generally, what happens then? Anything that is being processed, so process will give you certain outputs. Now, these outputs will have a positive output as well as a zero output, zero value output also. But it is an output. So we need to consider them even. So product, any output with a positive sales value or an output that enables a firm to avoid incurring costs. Sales value can be high or can be low, depends. So we cannot say that anything which is having a higher sales value should be only produced and sold in the market, and a product it is not having any sales value or lower sales value should not be produced or should be avoided to producing. No, it should not be like that. For example, when a company, let's say for example, when a glass manufacturing company is converting sand into glass, so they need to melt that sand, and for melting that sand, they heat it on a very high temperature, and because of that, certain gases come out from the respective chimney in the respective furnace, and it's go out from the chimney to air. So it is a part of the process that smoke is coming out. Smoke have no sales value at all, or you can even say it's a byproduct of the entire process. Coal tar, for example, nobody expects crude oil from the ground to produce coal tar. Every country is expecting crude oil from the ground to produce petrol and diesel, that are the high sales value product, but coal tar is being produced in that respective process. The coal tar is a byproduct. It is not a desirable product, but it comes because of the process. So anything that comes like this, which is not being a, which is not a desired product, but it is a result of the output, result of the process, can be termed as a byproduct. So product can be anything that have a positive sales value. Now sales value depends on product to product, can be high, can be low, etc. So we're not going into the term which one is good and which one is bad. But yes, you can be able to identify the products, main product, joint products, and byproducts. As I told you earlier, as I told in the previous slide itself, what byproduct means. Any product that is an output that comes because of a process which is not desired, but still as it is a part of the process, comes out from the process of generating a main product or joint product, will be termed as a byproduct. As for example, we discussed about that smoke of a glass company is a byproduct. It's a part of a process. For example, when a mother is cooking in the kitchen and when she is cooking something in the cooker, you may have find that gas comes out of the cooker. So it's a part of a process. You cannot avoid it. It is a byproduct. Main product, output of a joint production process that yields one product with a very high sales value compared to the sales value of other products. So anything that comes out with a very high sales value will be termed as a main product. Joint product, where more than one product is being identified or coming out of the entire joint process and have the same or equal sales value, can be termed as a joint product. For example, petrol and diesel can be termed as a joint product. You cannot say petrol is the main product or the diesel is the main product, because they both have a same or equal value in the market, and that is why they can be termed as a joint product. So I hope this is clear. Main product, any product that is having a high sales value compared to all other products that are being produced from the same production process, and that is known as joint. Main product. Joint product, when more than one product comes out from the production joint production process and have the equal sales value, almost equal sales value, or very minor differences there, they can be termed as a joint product. Byproduct is a part of a process that is actually an output of the process, though not desired, is there in your hands. That can be termed as a byproduct. or is having a very low sales value compared to the sales value of other outputs can also be termed as a byproduct. So I hope this is clear. We discussed terminologies like joint cost, we discussed split of point, we discussed separable cost. Joint cost, any cost that is there before the split of point is known as a joint cost. After the split of point of any cost is incurred on a specific product will be termed as a separable cost. Split of point is a point from where a joint product or the common product or the main product is being identified or is being separated from the common production process will be termed as a split of point. So we discussed about product, what product means. We discussed about main products, joint product and byproduct. These are the examples of joint cost situations. If you will see here, there are huge number of examples given. It is a part of the syllabus. Actually, it's a part from a textbook itself. So you can go to exhibit 16.1 and can be able to see that what kind of products are there and what kind of separable and split of point of are there. So that will become more easier for you to understand that these are the products, these are the processing method, and from this point, this respective products come to identified as a separate product. So there is cocoa beans, lambs, milk, coal, petroleum salt, etc. There. Allocating joint cost. Now we are moving to the main topic. This is whatever we discussed till now were actually the terminologies. Now we are going to discuss how cost is being allocated. So before a manager is able to allocate joint cost, he or she must look at the context for doing so. Joint cost must be allocated to individual product or service for several purposes, including computation of inventoriable cost and COGS for financial accounting and for tax reporting, reimbursing companies that have some but not all of the products or services reimbursed under the cost plus contracts, regulating the rates or price of one or more of the jointly produced products or services, and litigation or insurance settlement situations. All these are the reasons why you need to allocate joint cost. First of all, to compute the inventoriable cost, because you need to calculate the inventory's value for accounting purposes. So you need to understand what amount should be transferred to a certain product out of that respective joint. Reimbursement of companies that have some or not at all of the product or service reimbursed under cost plus contracts. So any company that is having a cost plus contract kind of thing, they need to reimburse the cost that incurred. So they need to identify what amount of cost is to be allocated to product A and product B. Regulating the rates or the prices so that it can become easy. You should know what price of product 1 should be there and what price of product B should be there. And for that, you need to allocate the cost incurred. You cannot allocate the entire cost to product A or product B. Otherwise, there will be a problem of overcosting or undercosting. And for insurance settlement situations, etc., you need to allocate joint cost. Now, two approaches are there with the help of which you can be able to allocate the joint cost. One is known as a market based. Now, market based is actually have three subtypes. One is known as a sales value split off method, net realizable value, and third is constant gross margin percentage or NRV method. So these are three ways to calculate the allocation of joint cost, two separate to individual products. I will allocate those joint costs to product A, product B, or product C. Whereas the second method is known as a physical measures, which is being the cost which is being allocated to different products on the basis of the weight, quantity, or volume of the joint product itself. So you can be able to allocate the joint cost on the base of the weightages, weight, either on the base of quantity, or you can say volume, that how much quantity is being produced, and by adding those you can be able to distribute the cost. of the joint product. So this is are the two different methods: market-based and physical measures. Market-based further have three sub methods: sales value split off, NRV method, which is also known as net realizable value method, and constant gross margin NRV, percentage NRV method. So it will be working on a constant gross margin percentage. We'll see all these sums. This is an example given to you that how this respective 1,10,000 gallons of raw milk has been processed. This is the joint cost of $4 lakh, and what we are producing. So we are producing creams of 25,000 gallons and liquid skim milk of 75,000 gallons. So this is the split off point from where the raw milk get converted, one into cream and another into liquid skim milk. So out of this 1,10,000 gallons, you can be able to see 25,000 gallons of cream has been produced and 75,000 gallons of liquid skim milk is produced. Joint cost is 4 lakh. So this 4 lakh is to be allocated to creams as well as to the liquid skim. So this 4 lakh will be allocated on the basis of the methods discussed earlier here: sales value split off, NRV, and constant gross margin NRV method. So these are the three market-based approach which actually calculate the split off, calculate the allocation method with the help of dollar datas or rupee terms, you can say. Whereas physical measures allocate the joint cost on the basis of the quantity, volume, or weight, etc., identified in this method. So if I say 25,000 gallons and 75,000 gallons, so this is the total amount of quantity produced is 1 lakh, and a proportion of that one out of 25% will be allocated to cream and 75 to skim gallon. So this is how also you can be able to calculate with the help of physical measures. See, we are not entering into the calculation part today. We will be only talking about all theoretical part. You just need to focus on what joint cost is, what split of cost is, and how this is being allocated. We will be solving the sum in my next session. So I hope this is very much clear that how this joint cost is supposed to be allocated. This is the cost that we are supposed to allocate in this entire chapter, either to product A or product B, with the help of the previous three methods and physical methods that had been discussed. This is an example given, joint cost, the previous one. Sales value split off method. We are entering into the first method. We are just looking to the theoretical part. The sales value split off method allocate joint cost to joint product produced during the accounting period on the base of relative total sales value split off point. This method uses the sales value of the entire production of the accounting period, not just the quantity sold. And the sales value split off method follows the benefit received criteria of cost. So any product which is having a sales value at this point, at split off point, with the help of that respective sales value only, this joint cost will be allocated, which is known as a sales value at split off point. Let's try to understand this. It's an example given. 25,000 gallons as had been identified as a price, $8 per gallon and $4 per gallon. We're able to see 25,000 into 8, that comes to 2 lakh, and